Kill everything. Kill everything.
That's not enough.
What's up, everybody? Clint Esposito here with another Throwback Moto Thursday. This time we are watching Flipped Out, which it says Flipped Out MTV. So I don't know if this was played on MTV or what. There's no description on the video whatsoever when I was trying to find it. So here I've just tuned in, getting rid of my chair out of the view. Tuned in my partner here on the show, Steve Sommerfeld. What's up, my friend?
Hey, man. Yeah, good. Good. I've just been on my hands and knees inhaling solvents and glue all day. Yeah, not what you thought for hands and knees, but I'm pretty damn tired and all high right now.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
And it's pretty late by you, so probably did you get a nap in or no?
No, I was thinking about it, and then it was a little bit too late to decide if I was going to nap, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to charge all the way through. So I'm going to crack myself a nice Rothaus Tenant Zeppler right now. This is my energy drink.
I have the only German beer that we could find, or one of the German beers we could find.
Oh, the Paulaner.
Paulaner. We would just say
Jeez.
Paulaner.
Paulaner. Paulaner.
Paul. All right, so like I said, we got Flipped Out, which I kind of feel like maybe I saw it at some point, but it's definitely a little bit more of an obscure, video.
Yeah, I've seen this one. At least I'm 99% sure I've seen this one. Paul Taubleib sent this through, and
Sorry.
he near on assures me that I haven't. So he said it didn't get very much distribution other than it says MTV, so maybe it went
Yeah.
on to MTV. I think he said it was on DVD as well, but it had limited distribution, and now we're lucky enough to get our hands on this one. This is something pretty special, actually. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So let me switch the screen here so everybody can see what's going on. And you're ready to go. We'll do our countdown.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
It's dangerous, high risk, and most likely you're going to go to the hospital. I've paid the price twice, first time out, fractured back, second time out, fractured everything else.
When this goes wrong, it's not any fun at all. You don't exactly just get back up and try it again.
Oh, man. There's some big boys right there.
Yeah.
That image there of that rock solid, I think I've seen in just about every old school video.
Of Clifford?
Yeah.
On to a whole nother level. Backflips on dirt bikes.
It's funny, Deegan got into everything, even if he wasn't like riding, he was interviewed for everything back in the day.
I've ever had to do. I think that's just the elevation of our sport. This is the most extreme sport of the extreme sports.
These dudes put it on the line harder than anybody else does.
It's an adrenaline rush like no other.
Free riding is where this all started.
With your buddies and, all right, I did it, you're up, that kind of thing. That's freestyle. Just started from some videos of the crusty demons of dirt.
It was just playwriting put on film, and people started freaking out on it.
Gone into tricks, and these guys are letting the bikes go. And
Jeremy Carter.
All of a sudden a backflip.
It doesn't seem possible.
With a motorcycle of that size.
Backflips on dirt bikes.
TP was always trying to flip everything.
A few
yeah.
brave, very talented, people going, you know what? I love what I do, and I think I can do this.
I always knew it was possible, and it just kind of one of those things. That's the next step.
Heart attacks, double-handed Superman sea crabs, and then from there went in the flip.
Nobody had ever seen anything like that. I can't imagine being upside down with a crowd going wild, TV cameras on me, with 250 pounds waiting to crush me.
He broke through, that it can be done. That's why I want to really do it and just progress and push it.
Each one of the guys have crashed doing a backflip.
Pretty much how my whole career has been. It's either really good or tragically bad. I stared the demons in the face and got through it. I'm Caleb Wyatt. I'm from Metzger, Oregon, and I'm really nobody. Yeah, it kind of lit a fire under me when he didn't pull it off. If it was going to be done by somebody, I wanted it to be me. When it rains, it pours for me.
Ended up dislocating my hand and turning all the ligaments out of my wrist and stuff. Like, this is better than the first one I've ever pulled. Hello, Metzger!
Metzger he's a legend.
Basically, to do a backflip takes desire, takes commitment, and dedication.
Metz did the most, unbelievable thing ever on a motorcycle.
Yeah, now I got my old school buddy back, Metzger.
That was so sick.
Won everything. 2 gold and 1 silver. It ain't bad for a day's work.
Man, that was an awesome intro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He was such a good character.
Something that everyone told me I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And
all of them.
Shutting them all down.
And Hart just being like, yeah, the rock star. Just
Hart's like, I
Yeah.
invented the heart attack, the double grab, and then just went to backflips.
fuck the rest of it.
Yeah.
You can play around with combos now. I'm going big boy stuff.
Yeah.
My dad worked a deal with these guys to give me a little spot in the back to build course. I mean, I have ramps only because, I prefer dirt-to-dirt stuff and natural terrain stuff. That's what his whole sport started, was from us out free riding.
Challenging yourself to see what you can do, pushing yourself. Whether it's dropping off a cliff or going up a cliff or hitting a gap.
Well, my dad built the very first ever freestyle contest, the one back here in Vegas, back in, what was it, like 98? But that's why I was here in Vegas.
My dad.
Wait, did he just say his dad made that?
There's a purse. And this is unbelievable. We're getting a chance to make some money, go jump, go do what we do for fun.
He said that's why it was even in Vegas.
Whoa, that's cool.
Some videos of the Crusty Demons of Dirt.
It was just playwriting put on film, and people started freaking out on it. I was making snowboard films at the time and started putting clips of just people hucking dirt bikes on sand dunes. People wanted to see more and more and more of that. I'd say after the first couple films came out, free riding was kind of born.
Up to that point, I've been doing some film trips with Fleshman, mostly with Fleshman. Back then, there was no making a paycheck to jump. It was you raced or you didn't.
It really exploded in X Games and Gravity Games.
Did he just say that it got boring? Free riding got boring?
Yeah.
Or maybe I missed that. I was just trying to adjust my video, and I'm like, hang on. Did John Freeman just say free riding got boring?
It's a whole lot of work, but I'm amped. I got it now. It's done. Well, that was the whole thing for me. It's like, when I originally set out to do a flip, it wasn't to go win Gravity Games, because obviously I didn't. I got disqualified. But it's like,
You got
I've
disqualified?
always try to progress. I was, my thing in the early, in early freestyles, I was the first person doing Superman C grabs.
When Carey first started doing that, you don't let go of a motorcycle and fly above it, and hang on to a two-hand. You don't do that.
I always have tried to stay one step ahead, and it's not for contest purposes, it's just for myself. I've always kind of been that way. And I guess the backflip was it. It's a matter of time before it's going to happen.
So wild.
Yeah, Superman.
So, my
Like,
thing was I was going out there.
Yeah, they've gone from that, sea grab indies, whatever, to
The whole day, I
backflip.
guess he was,
Yeah.
he was stretching and doing his thing and keeping to himself. So he built this intensity around him that it's like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
Look how fast he goes into the face of that thing. That's about as smooth as you can flip the back of a landing.
It was
Yeah.
sick. It was cool. Dude. From the actual jump, I remember.
See, look,
the
he
first half of the
preloads,
rotation is kind of a blackout because I probably closed my eyes.
pulls. It's about perfect pull.
But once I got upside down, I spotted the landing. Wyatt came around. I was coming in heavy, hit and slid out, jacked my back up really, really bad. Compressed fractured my disc in my back, or a vertebrae in my back. when Carey landed out of that thing, he hurt himself so badly because he came down from so far up. And at that point, I think the concept was you had to go way, way high in the air to make sure that you got the full rotation and brought the bike all the way around. I was so glad I didn't kill myself, you know, like.
And where he landed was so flat.
So
That
flat.
was a flat landing.
But he basically, he controlled it. He slowed it down. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I give him the first landed flip. You know, like it was just too heavy of a landing. Who could have pulled that off?
After
I
the event,
doubt I would do that now.
Hell no.
With all the experience that we've had.
No,
Like,
no one would. This is
yeah,
the
you'd be
point.
like, your hands will blow off, or you're going to break an ankle,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
fracture your spine.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
It helped our sport out a lot because it opened people's eyes.
It opened the door and
Whoa.
really gave people the ability to realize it's something that can be done. But conquering the backflip is not something that Carey Hart did at the Gravity Games.
Yeah, he didn't ride away, but he did a backflip on a motorcycle. You know, he landed on the thing and fell over. Sure, you want to get technical, he didn't ride away, sure, but that guy's got balls that big for trying it, all right? He landed.
Yeah, he made it around, but this is a sport. The sport is judged, and you get judged on landing clean and riding away, and he did not do that.
I'm bummed I didn't ride it out, but I'm claiming it. I mean, I got to my wheels and slid out, so you can't really deny me of that.
I agree with that. I don't think he should have won the contest. Do you think he should have won the contest?
God forbid you give someone credit for doing something. I didn't do it. And it
That's
didn't count.
tough.
I didn't write it out.
The only guy that's ever attempted it.
That's tough, actually.
Put on a
Maybe that's
platform
the
where he's not
debate.
healthy, and he felt obligated to go and perform when he wasn't healthy.
Leading up to X Games, I was feeling good. I was riding my bike a lot, and just I was feeling on it. And the jump kind of bucked me weird. And
Hey everybody, I'm interrupting this podcast to tell you something very important. April 19th and 20th, Two Wheels to Freedom Fest is going to be at Cedar Grove MX Park in Winnsboro, South Carolina. We're going to have dirt drags for the Harleys and the dirt bikes. We're going to have pit bike races. We're going to have camping with a 21 and up area. We're going to have a bar. We're going to have amateur freestyle motocross contest. I'm going to jump the Harley. That's April 19th and 20th, Winnsboro, South Carolina. Go to twowheelstofreedom.com for the link to tickets. Hope to see you there.
landed basically standing next to my bike, and it just high-sided me and busted my shoulder really bad. So this is 3 weeks, or actually, this was 5 weeks before X Games. Rode off X Games, I was like, you know what, screw it, it's over. I had my motorhome back there, and I was like, I'll drive my motorhome out, hang out for the day, and check out the events and whatever, enjoy the weekend. And got out there and was hanging out, and it just got to me. It's like, you know what, man, I can't just be here and not ride. I want to finish this, I want to stomp one of these things. We went to sleep that night and woke up the next day and shut up for practice. I couldn't ride practice. My shoulder was too sore. I couldn't hit the normal jump. I mean, my only option was to do a flip. I couldn't even hit the actual jump because my shoulder was too tender.
The place is packed. And
Man.
if you stopped at any point in time and just looked up at the crowd, you would hear somebody screaming, backflip, backflip. They had posters. It was absolutely
Especially if you could see Carey, you're going to yell it.
The fans wanted to
Hell yeah.
I was first up, which worked out good for me. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to go out there and get it over with and pack up and go home.
The lights dimmed. Harry was up at the top of the drop-in. The lights came up. He comes down.
The bottom of this
stops.
thing is so
You want
steep.
to see the backflip be conquered. You want to see it conquered by Carey Hart.
I think that's a lot of the issue too. Look how steep the belly at the bottom is.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of vertical, where I think he could have used a little more transition there.
Biggest mistake I made. I didn't have any strength in my shoulders. Right when I came off the lip, bar just came right out of my hands and had to eject. I mean, I was just basically jumping from the rafters onto the floor. Missed the landing and dropped from about 35, 40 feet to flat.
That's more how you build a step up. They carve it pretty steep in the bottom, and then it's a long flat at the top.
Yeah.
That's step up.
That was
But
one
I'm
of those
sure his
moments
thing
where
was he
we're like,
wanted as much vert
is
as
it even
possible
worth
so that he
trying to
didn't
back
go
flip?
out.
Yeah.
That fall, I broke
But
3 of my ribs up the front on my
that's
right
crazy
side.
anyway,
and I
right?
broke
Like,
my tailbone
it's such a gnarly
and
setup.
broke 9 bones in my foot. I had my whole foot pinned back together. And it's basically my whole foot's all fused now. My foot doesn't bend at all. You know, I mean, I want to do it for myself, but for more than anything, I just want to do it just to really shut everybody up. And
He only
what I wanted
needed-
to do, and it just didn't work out that way.
He only needed like half the speed that he took into that,
Yeah.
and he would have had it.
Yeah.
Half, he would have been
When
fine.
we came into 2002, the backflip had been proven possible. I mean, I was stoked. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's going to be all salty. It's like, no, that's my trick. But it was still that huge heavy weight on Carey's back because he claimed it. He's like, I'm the guy who's pulled the backflip. People say, no, you didn't land it and ride away from it smooth. You didn't do the backflip.
I can see
Carey
now
knew he
why
had to
he's
come out
kind
and
of
just
like
pull it
stepped
once to
away
prove
from
it.
freestyle and been like,
Look at the drama.
Oh, for sure.
It's brought him to great places, but it's
He
also
was
caused a lot of
not rinsed, but
stress,
it was a
you know,
shit time.
Injuries. Each time he's done it, every time he's done it in competition, he's been hurt.
For me, it's just closure. You know, just put it behind me. I mean, I just want to finish something I started.
That's a book he
look how fast he goes into this thing.
Yeah, he was flying.
He also, though, preloaded, which he didn't do at X Games.
That's true.
That one he came down, he preloaded, got off, got back
The
into
success
it.
of everybody else's backflips really made him
But
feel
coming into
like,
X Games,
yeah,
he
this
wasn't
is the time,
really
it's possible.
mentally there or
Yeah.
physically there.
Yeah.
Like,
Move on.
True.
I know Mike's been doing them all weekend. I had done 50, 60 flips into this pit. The thing that was really, really tough on me getting there was when I got there, it's like, whoa, this is, I mean, it's like I never left. I mean, it was the exact same roll-in to where the vert ramp was at, where, I mean, everything was exactly the same. And
The same small
rattled me
landing.
bad. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
I was looking for an out. I want to go home.
It's like a magnifying glass on his ass that whole time.
Honestly, it's for me today is closure. I just want to get one in the books, get one on the ground, ride it out, and I'm definitely put on the back burner.
An hour before the competition, the whole world was just caving in on him. Everyone was just there saying, you're going to do it, you're going to pull it. And it wasn't that I was worried about under-rotating or, you know, jumping off, none of that. It's just, you know, I want to land it and ride it out. And the last thing I wanted to do was, you know, just misjudge something and land a little sideways and slide out. Or, you know, just something for someone to just to put me down again.
Carey Hart flew on those first 2 passes, and he's just going to go for it on the 3rd run.
So the fact that he didn't come out for the first 2 attempts made us all think this is it. Carey is just, he's completely gone to pieces. He's not going to do it.
He seemed a little nervous. Gave him some good words of advice for a friend not to crash. That was basically it. Just like, dude, just do it.
This is awesome.
So when he appeared
Dude,
on a
just
bike
do it.
at the bottom of that start roll in, that was the moment where we were all like, this is it. It really was a do or die thing. Point was like me on that roll in, and it's just like, you know, I mean, I just kept running the same things in my head, you know, just commit, don't back out.
Jonesy up there, giving him
Man,
the pep
did
talk.
you see Mad Mike Jones was even hands on his head? Yeah, buddy.
Perfect. Just
It was
teeny
bad.
bit short.
I was super amped. Like when I finally stomped that thing, and you know, I got to the top of the roll.
Is that the only one he's ever done?
I'm so glad it's over.
That was it, wasn't it?
That's it. I
That was
don't think
done.
he ever.
Yeah.
When Carey actually hit that thing and landed,
Is that Astafan?
I think there was just a massive.
Yeah,
wave
he was
that
his
got
manager
all
as well.
Ah.
That's for sure. When I blasted off at the, you know, like I said, I closed my eyes when I do them, and I got upside down, opened up my eyes, and saw my landing. I was like, all right, this is good. I'm cool. When I landed, it made me bounce, and I'd be damned if I'm gonna slide out. So I just put my foot out and and all I did, I just my foot jammed in my boot, and it just broke it broke my big toe, and I cracked the bone in my foot. It was nothing major. I mean, it was really, really minor, but I was not gonna fall over.
Carey, you finally exercised the demon, pulled the flip, and it won you a medal. How do you feel?
Sucks that he's still crutching away.
The medal's cool.
Yeah.
But just more than anything, just kind of closure for me. You know, got it over and done with. I spent the last 2 years just destroying myself, and it's cool. I'm stoked.
That's awesome. Dude, I'm so glad it's over. I'll never do it again.
So John says he did some more, but that was the last one in competition.
Well, I'm not having fun no more.
G'day, John. How you going?
Hang it up. My body can't handle no more. I'll hang it up. But until then, I'm gonna keep riding.
He still rides.
Man. So wild. That was cool because obviously Caleb Wyatt was there then as well. Metzger was there. So, a few of the big boys. The first three.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Get my helmet off.
Oh, there's Caleb.
Hold on, bro. Hold on a sec, bro.
No, that's Ox.
Yeah, I think it is Ox.
Get weeded.
Oh, here we go. I don't mind a montage, especially it's when it's a freestyle montage.
Oh.
It's the toughest sport as far as injuries, I think. I mean, I never.
Jake Wyndham, I remember that. He tried to bail and got caught by his bike.
Something I get seriously hurt maybe once a year. I've broken 48 bones.
Broke 19 bones.
Damn, I'm up to like 21.
My femur.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've not even broke that many.
Last time
I'm
was
like
30
14.
separation. Knocked out 7 teeth, chipped 8 teeth, knocked 1
Whoa.
tooth out.
Got a steel plate in my jaw and ruptured a blood vessel in my brain.
Probably a half dozen concussions.
Been put in a coma. That was probably one of my worst injuries ever. And that took a lot out of me. I think I'm still paying for that one 3 years later.
It's gonna happen if you're in this industry.
Oh.
Ooh.
Bruh.
He still got out of that good.
That was pretty good.
Get a lot of dues, get a lot of hospital bills, and
Oh,
shit.
That was a motocross race. Somebody did a burnout on his back. This clip
Oh.
of Manu True gets played all the time.
All the time.
Oh.
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 Oh, Dane Kinnaird.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, I think that was Rob Felly, the first Australian backflipper.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
That was Homan. Morrison? Or was that Twitch?
This would be. That's Deegan, I
Deegan
think.
right there, yeah.
Yeah, that one's Deegan.
But the gray one before was either Scummy or Twitch.
I went off a really big jump without the bike. You know, it kept going and I'm in the air flying. It was just, you know, not pushing the boundaries. It's just, for some reason, I'm meant to be here. If there was a cure for spinal cord injury and I was fixed tomorrow, I'd be buying a bike the next day.
Oh, crazy. Brian
After
Manley.
laying on the floor, I was getting phone calls. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And I'm like, well, damn it. All right, I'm going to do it.
So wild, man.
I'm Caleb Wyatt.
The race was on.
And I'm really nobody.
I think if you wrote down a list of the roster of all the top freestyle guys and had to pick somebody who would do it, Caleb Wyatt was not the guy.
I've been in this sport since the beginning. Might not have been in the spotlight since the beginning, but I have been at the contest, you know, not getting the coverage and things like that, and I've been hurt quite often.
He knows he's not the best guy.
Man, I had all the shirts that said motorcycles, this, that, and I mean, it's something I wanted to do before I even...
That was pretty impressive.
Swung my leg over once.
Yeah.
He loves motorcycles, and he loves to fly, and he does something on a motorcycle that there's about, you know, who wouldn't want to do that if you could just jump on it and do it without any consequences, you know? He's a badass, you know? I mean, in that regard, he's a badass.
It was interesting. Caleb had this sort of mad scientist obsession with the backflip. He thought about it so much, it just consumed him.
Been talking about the backflip. The thing's ate me alive for 2 years, and I haven't even done really any other riding.
Caleb Wyatt stuck this backflip because of sheer determination. Nothing was going to hold him back.
That whole year after Carey did the backflip, I knew I wanted to do it, and my resources are slim to none. You know, being just the brokest person you've ever met, everything I did to do a backflip was all on favors. I mean, eventually I found a guy with a piece of equipment that could move the dirt, and things like that, and a facility where they let me build it. I'm sweating it because I'm like, damn, someone lives in Southern California and they're getting ready to do it. I'm like, I spent 6 months just waiting for the weather to break, and 3 months to get the jump built and stuff like that. And I'm like, I just wanted it done as soon as possible because I was going to do it whether it was second, third, fourth, fifth backflip ever. I was going to do it. So I was thinking, might as well be the first.
It's 1:34. It's Friday. What's today?
It's funny that people still discredit this, I guess, because it's to mulch. But now people are riding the airbags, so what's that
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, so you say, what a load of crap. Like, any reason to hate.
Yeah. Yikes.
Whoa, nice.
Bike did like 3 flips.
That was impressive, actually.
It was kind of like, well, yeah, let's see it.
We stayed there that night. We stayed in a barn. The barn was roughly 24 by 48 feet. And I mean, that's how Caleb was living, living in a barn and had a hot plate.
I remember that dude.
Pretty tough. We'd gotten there around 11 o'clock. His phone was blowing up the whole time. People were like, when are you going to jump? We want to be there. This is going to be completely crazy.
We did it. He showed up, and that was it.
Yeah, the first one was pure ragdoll. I mean, he came off that bike, and the bike went straight up in the air, and he came away and rolled
Look
forward.
how tight his transition is again.
Okay, this is really
Yeah, it is tight.
He was very frustrated.
But he was coming in with a good
Just
speed,
running out of
though.
my hands. I didn't know what was going wrong, I mean, I was jerking back on that thing as hard as I could, and I was giving as much gas as I could, and I was wondering
That's cool.
if my transition was too steep, and I didn't know what was going on.
And then he had tried it on the fifth one. He got peeled off the bike again, but it was like the light bulb came on.
He's got to point his toes and keep his feet in front of the pegs.
Yeah,
Yelling and
yeah,
screaming and
exactly.
riding around.
Put some grip tape on there, big boy.
Yeah, there you go.
And he just pinned it
He
all
heel
through.
hooked it. 2002, April.
Wow.
He didn't ride away. I told myself, so no one can say I didn't ride away. I was going to grab every gear that bike had. And
I was going to say, did he click like up to fifth gear just to make sure that he rode that away? Like he rode to the train line.
Yeah.
He was out of there.
You got to
Caleb
ride 1
Wyatt.
mile after the flip.
That was cool.
That's it. He's like, I saw the shit Carey got. I'm not going to take it.
Something so huge is now defeated.
The Holy Grail has been found, I guess. What about that sword? Yeah. I told you I was going to be the one to pull the sword from the stone. And there it was. Complete.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, I called out because it wasn't on dirt, and I got a chest protector on.
He proved, I think that you didn't have to be 30 feet up in the air to actually make the bike come all the way around and get it back on 2 tires and live to ride another
It's like
day.
Metz already had to have been working on it at this point.
Yeah.
It was Carey Hart did it.
Had to.
You can't claim that Caleb Wyatt is the first person to actually have done the backflip. And the claim is that he's the first person that stuck the backflip on a 250 and ridden away.
People can talk, people can say they're this, they're that. He didn't do it this way, he didn't do it that. You know what, I used to let that shit get to me, and who cares? People, I know what I did. You know, the people that were there know what I did.
It's going to be big pimpin'. Going to get a new crib.
I did this. Everybody
Hell
was going to
yeah.
hype and talk about backflip. I thought, oh, I'm going to make some cash on top of it.
You're going to go to the X Games, and the X Games are going to be able to expose your feet. I get a call from Tina, his wife, that night. Caleb's bummed. Mama, what's going on? I just need to know. And he had crashed. The bike had followed him, and apparently either the tire or swing arm had hit his wrist, and he had a very serious dislocation.
Caleb, tell us what happened.
Just doing some warm-ups last week and just preparing to do some of my practice hits, and I stuck in the landing, went over the bars, and ended up wearing the bike for a little wardrobe. ended up dislocating my hand and turning all the ligaments out of my wrist and stuff. So.
Oh man.
Oh man.
It was his time to shine. It was his time to take that spotlight, to roll into the arena and to claim that, yeah, I am the guy that did this, and I'm sharing this with my other, fellow riders.
Hello, Metzger. Very nice. Very nice.
To tell you the truth, I
So
wouldn't
I
even
wonder
win
if he
it
was flipping
my friends
ramps
were
at that
completely
point.
responsible. I mean, we went there and did a little bit of promoting and things like that. But it was pretty discouraging. I mean, I was there trying to just have as good a time as I could. Just disappointed. I mean, I don't know if I dropped the ball, but I definitely missed my window of opportunity.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. You can't change it. It is what it is.
So what's
But
the condition of your
tough.
wrist? Where are you going? And it's always kind of vague. Oh, it's okay. It feels pretty good. This, that, and this, and that. And I said straight up, are you ready for this event? And he said, well, I have to be. I have to do this.
2 days out of wrist surgery, I got 6 pins taken out of my wrist from dislocating my hand. And I went there. I did probably 25 backflips at home the day before surgery.
Wow.
I didn't get out of the hospital because it was a short surgery. I did backflips the day I had surgery. It took me a day to get to Reno, and I had them down. I grabbed my O2, my CR250, the O2 model, and I was like, okay, we're here. I'm just going to do a backflip. I'm going to do one. I'm going to go home. I mean, I know Nate's doing them.
What had happened in Reno is Nate Adams came in claiming, I've got it down now. I've got the backflip. And we'd
Looked
all
like he had
seen
it down.
footage of Nate's crash from earlier in that summer at Metzger's house. Probably the most horrendous thing any of us had seen in freestyle motocross. It just
That was only like 6 months earlier. 9 months earlier.
Ugh.
My attempt didn't go very good. I crashed and broke my collarbone and separated my other collarbone.
And apparently knocked himself out.
Know how to make their bike do what it needs to do.
Probably shouldn't even be here right now from that flip, but I mean, I fell 30 feet out of the air onto my face with a bike on top of me and walked away.
He finished the job. He's like, this can be done. I can do this. I just got to do it. He proved that he's a champion right there. It's like, this can be done. I can do it. I'm one of the best guys. I'm going to do it.
They got some other kid here doing them.
There you go.
First backflip in the U.S.
I don't care if I get third. I shouldn't even be riding my motorcycle. Should not even be on this damn thing. There's no reason why I should be doing this. But I realize I want some redemption for Summer X Games. I need to get into Winter X Games. I want, I need, these competitions don't wait for injured riders.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice.
Just here basically to do the flip and just kind of get that out of my system, do it at a competition, and I just went out there and practiced and did a flop instead of a flip.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that.
I want to be a master at motorcycle riding, and it seems I have, obviously I'm a decent rider. I wouldn't be, on TV getting sponsors, things like that, but I know I can just do better every time.
Oh, in Bakersfield, I mean, it was do or die.
Bakersfield event, the Winter X Games qualifier there. I'll tell you the truth, I don't think.
A lot of pressure on
I was
himself.
real worried about Winter X Games at that point.
Fuck yeah.
I was real worried about getting hurt doing that backflip.
That gorilla has turned into like Donkey Kong on his back.
Yeah.
It's just getting way worse.
That's the thing. More times he goes and it doesn't work out. Is at him again, crashed again.
I have not done a backflip off a ramp for months before that. I mean, I smashed myself at Reno. I didn't even step foot on my motorcycle until Bakersfield. Never even rode it. I went there with no confidence. I was so damn nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I got him down. I mean, at my house. There's a lot more pressure here with all the
definitely would have practiced.
TV and all that stuff.
He was just super consumed with failure.
I looked at that ramp and just was like, I didn't even, everybody's practicing, everybody's riding, and I'm like, I'm injured. I know I have to be here to do the Winter X thing. I'm more worried about completing this backflip. I mean, I'm not even I want the exposure of the backflip at a contest. I was getting called out for that. That
Yep,
was first on
I
my
remember.
mind.
So what we do is we have our talking, just like talking about, you know, you're just going to go out there, you're going to hit it like you always do. It's going to be butter. You're going to land it.
So pumped with adrenaline and just, I mean,
Overpulled her.
being in front of everybody and everybody watching. I mean, everybody just lined up.
Oh,
like
Ego
high school.
Sato.
Everybody just crowded around, and I was like, oh shit. And Deegan was doing them.
I have to keep up the pace, carry the torch for the militia. We're always setting new standards, so.
You know, the first time I went for the flip off the ramp at Bakersfield, something just does not say just jump it. It just, something in my brain just, and you just keep, you do what you're gonna do. It shut off too far and I over-rotated. But that was a big relief right there. You know, just I was shaking bad.
Jeremy
I mean,
Carter
I didn't feel my ankle, my
and-
heel was cracked or whatever.
Who
and,
is
you know, the
that?
doctor said that.
Oh, that's
And then the second
Cameron Steele.
Flip, I pulled, I believe.
Or his
Was it?
brother. It was either Cameron or his brother.
Third flip, I over-rotated again, but I was staying on it instead of jumping off. I locked on the brakes like you would if you were front end high. That's what I did. I over-rotated and was coming around again. Front end was high, locked on the brakes, and I ended up wrecking, hurt the other ankle. So now I was kind of gimping around all day. But, and I pulled the fourth one, and I said, that's it. That one felt good. I wasn't all crossed up in the air. I wasn't over jumping. I go, that's it. I go, there's no need for me to do it again. It's backflip. Either you do it or you don't.
I'm so fucking glad that's out of my system, dude. Oh my god, dude.
That's it?
I would say, and he went to the moon on that compared to everybody else, I thought. He went way
Pretty
higher.
good, just a little nervous, you know. I mean, anytime you do a backflip, you get a little nervous, but should be all right. I mean, it's
No
something I haven't done
shit.
before, so hopefully it works out.
So you have a fractured heel and a strained ankle. And the pins are backing out in your wrist. Okay? So now the pins are backing out. He's got all this stuff going on, and he's in pain. Then he's got to jump at night.
This guy who's just been on the roller coaster, up and down, the first guy to pull the flip. Metzger steals his thunder. Then he gets injured. He can't ride in the X Games. He comes back to Reno, wrecks. It's just, you know, can this guy, the first guy to pull off and ride the backflip, can this guy ever get a break?
Give him a break.
Man. Number one qualifier. That's what I like to see.
Ooh. Oh, perfect.
Easy. Greased it with a what did he say?
Yeah.
Broken heel and a sprained ankle. Greased it.
Yep.
Man, that would have been the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, for
that,
sure.
That one at nighttime was more than just, you know, the first one was obviously really cool, felt numb, just getting everybody's, you know, because everybody else is doing flips and getting attention and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, sweet. Now I'm back up to their level. I'm on the fair and square with everybody doing flips, you know, so I'm cool. You know, I've got them both ways, off the step up and the ramp, at a gap. Done it at a contest, did it with the cameras, did it with the people. Okay. All right, fair and square.
For the first time ever in competition, Caleb Wyatt has successfully pulled and landed the backflip. Caleb, you must be thrilled.
This is better than the first one I've ever pulled, so this is great. I'm so stoked. I mean, I can't even talk. I'm pretty stoked.
That happened in
I
such
guess I'm
a
the first
small
one to
space of
completed
time.
the backflip, and that kind of puts my name in the history books. So somebody can have a bigger one, somebody can have a better one, but nobody can have the first one, I guess, except me.
Except if we don't write it into the history books.
Oh, and Jose Llanes comes out
Yeah.
and claims it from 10 years earlier than everybody. Oh my God. Was that Metz? Yeah, that was Metz, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was after he won the contest, and he just goes shooting off the side. I don't know if he won, but it was at least at the end of his run. He was already done. Just goes shooting off the side of the landing.
That was so nuts.
Everyone has something in their life to do. I feel like there's a plan for everyone already, if that sounds weird or what, but my plan, I guess, was to be a freestyle motocross rider named Mike Metzger.
Yes, it was, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So I wonder where Metz is in the numbers game.
The 95 is about
What do you
the
mean?
time.
What
that I
number
really
was he?
known for
So
freestyle,
Carey
like,
did the first
Mexico
one at
Dirt
Gravity.
Rider.
Probably
Came out
3.
with me on the cover.
Was number 3?
That was
Yeah.
back in 95 when it really like all began for me.
I think it's
Whenever
Carey,
you heard of
Caleb,
freestyle
Metz.
motocross, Metz was almost certainly one of 3 names that you'd hear. And it had been that way from the good old days of Krusty.
Well, Metz was really a standout in free riding, just always going for interesting gaps and this and that, and coming up with all the tricks.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys, or the first guy to really push the boundaries of doing tricks in the videos.
But somewhere in the end of the 90s and the early 2000s, Metz just seemed to lose it completely. He lost his focus. He would come out to X Games and he just
Oh,
wouldn't go
that's a
anywhere.
tough
He
one.
wasn't the star of the sport. There's a lot of hot new young freestyle guys. Aside from being an incredibly amazing talent and a very unique guy, Metzger wasn't exactly the guy who was out there innovating a lot of tricks.
You know, I
Very
think I had
unique
other
guy.
expectations last year for myself, which was going supercrossing.
That was a bummer, and it kind of hurt his knee and a couple other things, and it just lost all momentum right there. And he's just like, you know what? I'm going to be a freestyle. I'm the best at that. And so he just really put his head down and started focusing on doing the freestyling.
And then all of a sudden I'm like back in the freestyle, and then I was serious about it for once in my life. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to tear down my supercross track because that's not what I'm doing. And I'm going to try and see what I can do with freestyle and be the best I can.
That's a big
With a
call, man.
daughter
Tear down
and
your
family,
supercross track
pretty much is
and do
something I've wanted
freestyle.
since I was young.
I think it's made him more focused on his career. He knows pretty much what pays the bills now.
TJ Lavin saying, hey, X Games is coming up. What are you going to do? 360? And well, no, probably do a backflip first. So TJ told me to go out, take my ramp to the sand, and just huck it like a BMX bike.
I was thinking, you know, like obviously around the same time Mike was thinking about, like, you forget this, trying to do up a landing, up a cliff jump, if you're gonna do it ramp, do it off a ramp.
I guess I wasn't ready when Carey decided to step up and go for it. I wasn't ready back then, and it took me 2 years to like really prepare myself to be like, this is how I feel the most confident.
He didn't say he was going to try a backflip. He says, I'm doing a backflip tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I wouldn't have picked that early, I don't think.
No, maybe 5 in the afternoon.
I wouldn't have gone that late either.
I'd be going for golden hour. Like,
2 runs.
it's 5 o'clock. That's when it's happening.
You know, he's been riding around, hitting the ramp, just warming up, and there he comes.
Well, there you go. 8:26 in the morning.
I was laughing so hard. I rode over to him, gave him a big hug, and then it's like everyone was, then it hit him. We did see that. It is. He did a backflip. Oh my God.
Not only just pulling the backflip, but he did it in a completely unique way and did it off a ramp over a huge gap.
Yeah, 50-foot gap. It wasn't a step up to a plateau.
You know, he stops, he pulls his goggles off, he's high-fiving everybody. Everybody's totally pumped. We're all freaking out.
Did it, Clint? Yeah!
I knew I was gonna land it. Like I said yesterday, I finally got it over with on my BMX bike, and I just knew all night. I finally could like picture myself doing it. Stoked, so stoked.
He landed a backflip, rode away, turned around, and went and did it again.
In the 3rd and 4th attempts, I ended up catching the hay bale.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a heavy one.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm glad you guys got to see this because this isn't easy. Yeah, it's ridiculous is what it is.
Oh, man.
How about the hay bales though? It's like
The ones
center,
afterwards?
The center is still hard. He just has like on the side.
Yeah.
Gnarly, dude. That's some pretty tough shit to be doing on a dirt bike, dude.
The backflip absolutely
And
solidified
send the
this,
flip.
you know, is
First ever train
you
flip.
know, as the elite, really, in that degree. It's like, all right, the
And look at the
Godfather-
safety deck he's got on there.
Yeah.
It's the backside of
Nothing
another
against
landing.
Carey, but hey, he went out and finished the job.
Day in the life of a freestyle motocross rider.
We just see this completely renewed Mike Metzger coming out in 2002 saying, you know what? Freestyle's my sport and I'm going to reclaim it. And
I like
fact
that
he did it by
era, the
pulling
no
the
fear
backflip
era.
and pulling it in
Yeah.
such a
Old
big
bikes,
way
Metzger
just put
Motorsports.
Mike Metzger's mark right back on the sport that he claimed from day one.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to this year's X Games, Gravity Games, and coming home to California with some medals. X Games is what all my sponsors want me to do the best at.
This is probably the biggest extreme sports event of the year. This is like this is the Super Bowl, pretty much, more or less. I mean, this is the big show. Everybody wants to come here and make a name for themselves.
I'll be pumped tomorrow. Stands will be full. Everybody will be cheering. It's gonna go off.
This is the gnarliest course to date that we've ever ridden on, like super technical, 2 90-foot hits side to side, 2 75-foot caddy jumps that don't even line up straight. When you land, you gotta straighten and hit this jump right here, which is like super gnarly. And I don't know, it's gonna definitely weed out the men from the boys.
Ooh, big goals. Very true, but I would be bricking it right about now.
Yeah. But this is the week I talked to him, remember? And he was just like, I know I can.
If you do the backflip and stick
That's
run,
so
He
nuts.
was pretty confident going in there. Renner.
What was happening?
Damn, Renner was getting it. He's naughty.
Wait, was that? Did they say this was 02 or 03? This would be 02, I
I
guess.
think so.
Damn it. I'm gonna have to go back and see.
Remember, he was
Nice.
crushing. Yeah.
Man, Kenny is on it.
Yeah, dude. Look at this.
No bar check. Digging it.
to beat a backflip run
Stage
without a
dive.
backflip.
02.
02, yeah, there you go. Oh, Kenny.
And he blew his knee out.
I was almost 90 degrees to my takeoff whenever I was completely upside down. And tried to straighten it out. It was coming down totally sideways. I felt my ankle go and then never go back. I was like, okay,
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was his knee.
I was sitting on the side on a little mule or whatever, getting ready to go to the medic thing, and they wanted to take me, and I'm like, no, I'm staying, because Metz told me he was going to do it.
That's so good. Who would have thought Metz was going to do what he did? Like, what he did was already ridiculous on the first jump, let alone the second.
He had said, I can do it. He doesn't say, I'm going to try to do it. He says, I'm going to do it.
It just all works out. Time just takes its toll, and you end up feeling more comfortable on the bike.
This was a really good X Games. And I was there, everyone.
Man, stop it. You're making me so jealous.
Dude, I remember losing my mind when he pulled that shit.
Like, this
Yeah.
is just something etched into my memory, and it's only from watching Don videos over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Well, this is when
And
X Games was
you
free.
saw it.
X